Well, here we are. Boy, how time flies. 10th of March already. Most of the frost is out of the ground, but it's freezing at night, so a little bit, that frost seeding per se would work. But we're on that clover field that was luscious last year, and I want to show you something. That clover ain't any taller than that flat edge, at the cutting edge of the hoe, and it was cropped down to the ground. But you see all that bare dirt in there? Now, if you wanted to, the clover will send out runners and fill them in, but I'm just going to broadcast, per se, frost seed, a little extra clover on it to hit those spots. And here's an interesting thing. Everywhere you see these blonde spots, that's dead grass. And I'm going to take this hoe, and it won't take me long. I can go up through there and I'm going to hoe all that grass out of this instead of using herbicide. So I'll get started. It's trying to rain. But that ground being soft like that, it won't take, this is live time. You'll see how fast you can take that grass out of there. You can get right down there and get the root out. Don't take long. And then I'll put new clover on there. I got a bucket over there. I'll get the grass residue and the roots out of there. And that don't take long to go up through there. But nice thing about perennials is you don't have to plant them every year. Keep a 5-gallon bucket or something down around your food plots. Just leave it there, it blends in green. Probably sure stands out pretty bright in the snow, but what this is for is if you got a bucket or a bushel basket on site, you can pull weeds and throw them in there and carry them off the plot. So keep one of these, just a tech tip, that you're not going to learn any for else other than on the non-typical channel. This, you pull the weeds out, throw them in there, you carry them off site, throw them out. Same way with the grass roots. Put them in there, throw them in the bucket, take them off site. Oh, leave one of these on your perennial plots. Now when you do what we're doing, here's what we're achieving. See, we got the whole root of that grass ball out of there. And it don't take long. And no one, but no one, forces you to plant food plots, but don't let anyone tell you it's a poor man, cheap man, easy man, sit on your ass man and watch it grow. Because that ain't how it happens, folks. This is a love of labor. And if you're not willing to get off this and use these in life, then go vote for Bernie Sanders. But my man's going to prevail. You can see that grass right there. Well, that's why I'm going to show you. Right there's the bucket and right there's the hoe. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'll just put the camera down for a minute. Now, that root system has been eradicated completely out of there without the use of herbicide. And that way it won't be growing, competing with your clover as the green up comes. And it don't take long. And unfortunately, in today's modern society, if you ask somebody from the city what a hoe is, it's a female standing on the corner in Chicago. But this is a hoe right here. It is a garden hoe. Very few people probably ever going to be near one of these in their lifestyle, and that's what's wrong with America today. The young kids should be off the laptop and the smartphone and have one of these hands and learning how to grow things other than how to destroy things. Well, it didn't take that long to get a lot of that grass out of there. I'm not going to say we got it all, but we got as you can tell, there's some along this edge of this tree, but that breaks into the bush, and we'll mow that back later. But we got the stuff that was out in the middle, as you can tell. And I want to show you something. I don't know if you can see that nightworm right there, but they're pretty. There was a bigger one there, and he probably burrowed back down in there. But you got good soil, healthy soil. When you got night crawlers in there, they're helping aerate the soil. Plus, as you notice, that was a whole root ball of that piece of grass, and we didn't have to use herbicide or anything, and we got the complete roots dug out of there. So it's not going to be in competition right off the bat with your new clover growing. I wish I had had that big night crawler, but he fell in the bucket somewhere. And that's your white-tailed clover, and it'll do a ½ acre. So we don't need quite a ½ acre here, because we got another project over yonder that we've already put some on, and I'll take you over and show you that. But we'll go along and hit wherever there's dirt, we'll have seed, and everywhere we hold the grass out, we'll make sure we get seed on that area. So here we go. We'll just crank on randomly. Don't have to be real thick. Yeah, it's a fine time to seed your trails too. I just cranked some new seed on there. I'll tell you what, those deer hammered that trail. Well, for you folks that want to know the attractiveness and the palatability of wintergreens, I planted this in the oldest clover field, part of it last year, and I'm going to overseed it with clover and throw a little chicory on it, and then to green it up, get something growing, and then I might even throw some forage oats in here, and then it'll be temporary, and come August I'm going to plow this whole thing under and plant it in beets and greens, because I'll pan over here. Now you can see that over here, that was once lush clover, but over time that grass, you know, even with the use of herbicides, with the rest and slay, 10 years, that's a long time. But anyhow, you see back down here, this is where we tilled it up, and you can see the devastation. There's nothing left. So I've already cranked some clover on, but I'm going to crank some more on. And then, like I say, I think tomorrow, before the next rain, I'm going to get some forage oats and throw on here, just for a good summer source to green this place up, be good for turkeys and whatever. But and then we will take this whole area and put it in a Baraska type next year, or this fall, and then go in 2021 and reseed it entirely with clover. So I'll get to cranking the clover on. Well, there you go. It didn't take much in here. And like I said, I just want to get this to green up. And I may come in with some forage oats. Now this is going to freeze again. It's supposed to get down below, freezing. So that freeze thaw will help take that down in the soil. Plus the light rains that we get will make good seed to soil contact. So, and I want to show you this up close. You can see some remnants of the turnip there, but they just churned this up and ate it. There's another little turnip, but those add organic matter into the soil also. And as they rot out, they keep the soil from compacting. But you can just see, does wintergreens work? Well, I'll tell you what, they really devastated that field. And that was what it was for. And it got a super overgrazing this year because of the lack of ag crops that didn't get planted last spring. But they really hammered that. And it's just amazing. And so we want to get something to green up in here. And like I say, this fall I'm going to turn this completely upside down and come in with a winter late season annual and redo this. So this, what we just did here, is just going to be temporary anyway. Maybe for some summer grazing. But then we'll get and do, I'm going to take some more trees out down there that are dead and change the whole schematic of this somewhat. But boy, this was a 10-year-old plot, and I'll tell you what, there was a tremendous amount of foraging that went on 365 days a year on this area. It was just hammered, but like I say, you can see the blonde grass in there. And we got the mileage out of it, and so it's time to turn it under. But we'll let this go until like August, and then we'll plow her up and lime it and get it all back up to speed. Once again, I hope some of this helped some of you guys in your quest for food plots. And to me, food plots are a lot more essential than dumping minerals on the ground in a spot and trying to grow something unnatural. If those minerals are in this ground, what they're in, they're going to come out and come into the antlers of the deer that you got. So with the genetics that you have and the richness of your soil is how I want my wildlife to grow. I don't want to dope them, but that's up to the new generation, and if that's how they see fit, more power to them. But Teddy Roosevelt would be rolling over to his grave right now.